Ahoy, you all. Hello, it is Tees. Good day. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. So, well, I'm up early after the meridian, as always. But I do want to give a few updates as far as, current events and, what is here and then what's to come. I know most of the time when I say, oh, something's here or something's to come, some people can say, oh, well, it's already here, or I haven't seen it yet, so when I say it's here, most of the time I can say things because I'll probably experience it before everyone else, like even with because me, I feel like what I'm noticing and experiencing here in California, I don't know if it's intensified or if it's just because there's more people here. So I'm just seeing it, instead of seeing 2 or 3 tents or a handful of tents that I would normally see on, if I call myself traveling a few years ago, but then by the time I get here, then it's a plethora, so it'll be a whole lot more. So basically for me, it'll be more intensified. Like I say, everyone else can say, oh, I see a handful, just like now, and now everyone's seeing a bunch of tents. A few years ago, upon coming in, all I see is tents, and like I say, my eyes are still as big as golf balls because I'm like, what am I looking at? And it's not just the tents, the plethora of doo-doo, the plethora of people. I actually see people pulling up, foreigners, they'll pull up in buses. And I don't know if those are from Guatemala or Mexico. I don't know what it is. But they'll pull up at the train station. They'll pull up at the airport. Pull up on the side of the road. Wherever there's a stop. So, with this particular update, this will be on scams and hacks. Which, that's nothing new. Because it's rumored that, okay, well, when the cell phones went off, that was a hack. Or when social media didn't work, that was a hack. And, stuff like that. But this particular new hack, I guess they say that someone stole all of the Americans' information. So, like, any information that's required for America, like ID information, birth certificate. I want to say Social Security was on there too. So, pretty much I have your information. And like I say, that's nothing new. But I'm thinking it would be new that we'll have the whole entire, it's always been rumors and it's always been reported. Hey, have your data been stolen? Because I remember I got sent maybe 10 or 20 emails saying, hey, have your data been stolen from Yahoo, or have your data been stolen from this and that? And more than likely, yeah. But they'll tell you to put in this claim, and I do the same claim 100 times. So it's like, are you just letting me know, or are you actually going to fix it? Which I'm thinking that they're just talking about it as far as the previous hacks. But this hack now, it's this one's more serious because they have the information that they need. There was a lady on social media. She was like, hey, yes, all of our information has been stolen. We all have been hacked. We have been hacked. Like, pretty much, okay. I don't know if they got into the database or somebody left your file on the desk, but basically all of our information is out there. It's not just me who's been hacked in the past and now. It's everybody. If you got anything under the U.S. government, more than likely you are hacked. And then I actually had it confirmed because I was watching a gentleman on YouTube. He was saying, I was hacked. They called me and say, oh, hey, give me whatever money's in your bank account because we have activity of you in other countries and we have drugs and money with your name on it. And in order to fix this, send me your money. Here's a red flag. Don't reach out to the police. And I'm thinking like, well, if you're the police or if you're a part of the government cracking down on me doing shady business overseas, then shouldn't the police have a bug in their ear too, to know just in case I try to leave and they pull me over, but again, you have to read in between the lines because sometimes when people scam, you don't ask questions. When they say, hey, this is the police, or hey, get down, or if I put those flashing lights on, you'll automatically think, oh, let me pull over and, this and that. And then it's like you don't really know what that is. So, what I actually want to stress is whatever's going on, it's only going to be intensified and it's only going to get worse. As we plummet in this country, or as we reach this brick wall, or as we crash and burn, as far as a country, things will go downhill from there. Because, okay, so money's going to go out of business. Inflation is through the roof. Food, it's hard to come by. And you can say, hey, there's a grocery store right there. But it's like, more than likely, that's not food on those shelves. And that's another thing too. There was a lady. There's been a few videos that I was watching where ladies and gentlemen they'll cut into a watermelon and it'll be so rubbery to where It's like, what the hell is this? Or it's basically not edible. And I actually experienced that myself with a mango. It's supposed to be a mango, but it's as hard as a like literally hard as a brick, and it was on the shelf as if it's ready to go. So it wasn't like, oh, this is just a mango that's just not ripe. It wasn't a damn mango. In so many words. But yeah, this particular video, I just want to just stress that basically, remember how I mentioned for me everything will be intensified. So that means there's going to be, like I say, maybe for you or for the world, maybe I get one or two scam calls, or maybe you'll get one or two strange activities through the mail. But basically, it's going to intensify. Let's just say, long story short, coming soon or coming now, everybody's going to be scamming, because it's not just these news. The scams that are happening now, like whoever has their hands on your information, that's pretty much, I want to say it's new, but even though it's not, but it'll be new to someone who hasn't experienced scams at a high level. And like I say, my whole life has been a scam. When I show my birth certificate, show my ID, and say, hey, I'm here, I'm this, and that, and then to describe me and to give my description, that's a scam. Because I remember when I said anything under the constitutional law is a scam, because it's a criminal country built off crimes, and then those crimes has been unsolved. So, with that being said, this is an inside job, and I'm not speaking because I'm the one calling the orders or doing the hitman activity. If you just look at the way things are going, and if you have spiritual eyes and ears to see, and you're not distracted by tube, you're not distracted by what you hear, you're not distracted by the media, you're not depending on what red and blue is saying to you, just know that this all is a setup. The way things are going, they want it to go that way. And then it's almost making me think, and I don't want to sound like, oh, how dare you speak of the Bible, but you know how they have prophecies in the Bible where things happen, and they probably know that's happening because maybe they remixed that part in the Bible. Because a lot of this stuff, the reason why I say this stuff is by design, because a lot of this stuff is not natural. It's not natural to have a drive-by in Chicago where 100 people die in one night on the 4th of July or around the 4th of July, and it's not a state of emergency. It sounds like they want it that way. It's not natural for 1 million people to be on the side of the road living in tents before inflation. You see what I'm saying? I was looking at all these tents before inflation. It's just only getting worse now because everybody's getting evicted now. What about before inflation? What about before COVID? You see what I'm saying? So, the things that are going on around you right now, it is by design. Like I said, you may have one or two natural storms, but everything else is man-made. You may have one or two zombies running around, but all the other zombies, oh, trust me, they're programmed to be zombies. I look at zombies, I see zombies, I grew up with zombies, and I know how they operate. It's like they all do the same thing at the same time. I said, y'all, what is the coalition? Like, what do y'all have in common to where everyone will behave at the same time, like clockwork? And I don't know if it's from the serum. I don't know if it's from what's in the air or what's on the tube or signals in the air or whatever those frequencies are. But I actually see it. So with this particular hack, you may get someone who calls your phone. Hey, are you so-and-so at on Drury Lane? And if so, come meet us in the alley. And then that's all she wrote. I would say, just for advice, if someone calls you saying that, okay, hey, they're the police from this, and that, and we're here to arrest you because you have money overseas and they had drugs on it and your name and number is on it, then I would say just immediately call the police to confirm it, because more than likely, if the police or the FBI are after you, they're not going to call you. If anything, they'll kick your door in. And if anything, they might corner you on the highway. Like if they notice by your car, okay, this car was stolen, and then they'll maybe corner you. Now, if you get cornered by the police, then I would say perhaps that's real, and then therefore you handle that accordingly to where you can, hopefully make it go smooth. But it's going to be situations like that because it's basically going to be free game on the road, or at least on a certain caliber of people. It's going to be free game. Now, some people could say, well, it's already free game, but I mean free game for the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it might be free game for me, but it's only 2 or 3 people can have free game for me, other than the whole world coming after me too, because it's literally free game. It's became lawless, and we thought it was lawless previously and already, but not really. The leash has not been unsnapped off the pit bull's neck just yet. So, yeah, with that being said, just know that your information has been stolen, and if you notice any scams, just handle it accordingly. Just don't react to any scams. If someone calls you from a strange number claiming to be the police or claiming to be the CIA, then don't entertain it, because just to give you an update on how that works, they don't, more than likely the police, unless they're calling you about like a warrant or something, like, hey, I'm calling here because I'm your probation officer and you haven't showed up, and they might call on that. But if it's something, a serious case to where like things are literally like something where the feds have to get involved, you're not going to receive a phone call. If anything, you're going to get your door kicked in. When the feds come, they kick your door in. They don't make any phone call. And then half the time they're kicking the wrong door in. So it's like, now if you get your door kicked in, and that's another thing too that may happen, which can also be a red flag. People do, that has been known too, where people are dressing up as cop, police, and I'm a Secret Service or whatever it is, and then maybe they do try to kick your door in, or maybe they'll try to, get your attention because, hey, I'm Secret Service, or I'm a police officer, and you're not a police officer. You're just dressed up as a police officer, and you're trying to pull me over. You see what I'm saying? You have to be very careful. And I would say, honestly, for people who don't believe in the Second Amendment, but I would say, if you don't believe in it, get baptized and be sure to believe in it. Because if you're at war, and that's another thing too, I don't know if this is a Democratic thing or just a foolish thing, but people, and I don't know if it's a Negro thing, but people would like to say, oh, I don't need any guns, or I have no business. You don't need those damn guns. Those guns need to be off the streets. So while we're thinking like that, where we don't need guns for our safety and put the guns down, because everybody's shooting. But here's the thing: while you're putting your gun down and putting your gun away, so everyone can be safe, the school shooters still have their guns. The criminals still have their guns. These thugs in office, they still have their guns. So while you're being a good Samaritan, guess who's going to be sitting duck, and guess who's going to have that target on their back and on their chest when it's time to spray. So I would say go ahead and let that fly out the window. I don't care if you don't have any arms. Just be armed. Get a firearm. And this isn't to be fearful, but I'm just saying, if you're the only one who's unarmed, and all the criminals and all the school shooters and all the Queen's men have weapons, and then they don't have regular old handguns. And like I said, the gun that you'll probably get, probably just a regular old handgun or regular old bow and arrow. But they'll have military weapons that'll shoot you, him, and her from up here and from down the street. You see what I'm saying? So if they have weapons where you can spray out and clear out the whole room in seconds, and you really think that you're going to survive without being armed. That's what I'm saying. It's not to be fearful. It's to be realistic. I have a realistic mindset. That's all I'll say. That's probably the only thing that I'm missing. I can be as armed as I want to be. But if I don't have a school shooter gun, then I don't stand a chance. So I would just say, just be armed, because if things only going to get worse, they're not going to say, oh, this a poor lady with her baby in her purse. Leave her alone. No, you're going to be the first target. But with that being said, be well, be safe, be careful. Use your eyes and ears and your discernment. And if you need to detox, to clear your eyes, turn the TV off so you can hear and see what the hell's going on and what the Rock is cooking, take it seriously. All right, be well, be safe.